to chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Here in this space, every heart finds its meaning. Words weave a net where the world feels much kinder. Chat is the pulse, every moment redeeming, binding reminder. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Quiet nights and the storms full of thunder. Chat holds the light, every word a new tether. Strength in the love that connects us no sunder, lifting together. Hats off to Chat for the joy in your giving. Every kind soul brings a world that feels brighter. May these connections endure while we're living, bond growing tighter. Hats off to Chat for the joy in your giving. Every kind soul brings a world that feels brighter. May these connections endure while we're living, bond growing tighter. To Chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its...
Hey guys, how are y'all? I am doing Much better. I am really sorry that I missed y'all last week. It was not fun at my house. Good, Lupita. Mandy, did you win First In award? I think you won First In, my dear, because I think Indigo isn't here anymore. Are you still here, my dear? Hi, Cricket. Oh, you know what I forgot to do, guys? Let me fix this really quick. Hold on, I'll be right back. I forgot the green screen. It fits behind me. So, like I was saying, I'm really sorry I missed all y'all last week. I was so sick. I ended up in the emergency room last Wednesday. Luckily, we were in and out of there in something like an hour. I will email Mandy if she's not still here. Cricket, is there a rhyme or reason to which one's first and which one's second? Is the gold statuette first? Help me out, Cricket. Tell me which one's for First In and which one's for Second Minnesota Goodbye. And then I'll show it. Cricket made, as usual, beautiful, beautiful art that I can't wait to show you. But I need to know nope, dealer's choice. Okay. So we're going to go with this one for First In. Hold on. And I will send it to Mandy. Here is, check it out, y'all. Look at that. First In award. So nice. Cricket says that the artwork today is credit to Rousseau. So I think if we were to go and look at some of Rousseau's art, yeah, check it out, you guys. That's some beautiful things. Sophia, how are you, honey? So we'll do our own little art. Here is some of the sort of thing that Cricket was trying to emulate. And I think that he did an excellent, excellent job. Hi, Lori. How are you? So here is the First In award. We will mail it off to Mandy. So, you guys liked bingo so much. It was the best idea that I could come up with for today. So, I did a little bit of quick research and came up with a bunch of YouTubers Equatorial jungle. Yes, I am doing much better, Sophia. Thank you. I was really sick last week. I ended up in the emergency room. I called the on-call doctor and they said, well, you should go to the emergency room, which was not what I wanted to do at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning when I felt like death already. The emergency room is never, ever a comfy place. What Cricket needs more than anything, y'all, he needs watch hours, but oh my goodness, we need to get his subscriber count up. So talk to your friends, talk to your family, have them subscribe to Cricket. It's really important. Cricket has he is quickly moving into 500 subscribers. He's at 453 subscribers. So all we need is 47 subscribers to get his first level monetization, because he's already got all his watch hours, which is really, really exciting. I really appreciate you guys giving him so much love. So, does anybody want to play bingo? I dropped a link for bingo cards, but I need to know when you guys have your cards and if you want to play. I came up with names of YouTubers who are who have been problematic on YouTube, who have history or reputation of having or being a high control group leader on YouTube. So I think it might be a lot of fun, because as we go through, we can talk about who each of these people are and learn a little bit about high control groups and how they form on YouTube. Cricket. So if you can drop that link for cards so that people can have them as they come in, that would be helpful. And let's so the first one is the Paul Brothers Entourage. The Paul Brothers Entourage. Does anybody know what that's referencing? So this is really interesting. So this is talking about Jake Paul and Logan Paul. And it says it can be analyzed through the lens of high control group dynamics in several ways. They don't fit the traditional definition of occult or extremist groups, but they exhibit some characteristics commonly found in high control environments, particularly in influencer driven social media circles. Antics. How are you doing? Hi, Adam. It is on. Brain fog, how are you feeling? Cricket, I adore you. Fab Daddy, how are you? Boy, you guys, I missed you last week. Even though I was sick, I really did. I've missed you all week. I missed not doing Wheel of Wednesday. So the first call for these bingo cards is the Paul brothers. And the ways in which they exhibit characteristics commonly found in high control groups is they have charismatic leadership and power controls, power centralization. Members of their groups often feel a strong sense of loyalty or obligation to follow the brothers' directives. There is a manipulation of social and financial dependence, meaning many members of the inner circle live in their properties, blurring professional and personal boundaries. And leaving or being expelled from the group often results in financial loss and social exile, as their careers are deeply tied to the Paul brand. There is information control and narrative shaping. The Paul brothers carefully curate their online personas and frame events in a way that benefits them. Dissenting voices are ignored, mocked, or discredited, making it difficult for people to speak out against them. There is love bombing and isolation. There's punishment for nonconformity. There's an us versus them mentality. There's extreme emotional highs and lows and loyalty tests and public spectacles. They have a history of making members prove their loyalty through pranks, risky behavior, or public feuds with outsiders. And loyalty is often tested in high stakes ways, with betrayals or exits turned into public spectacle content. So, while they're not a traditional high control group, the Paul brothers' entourage exhibits coercive social and financial pressure, isolation, and manipulative tactics that can trap individuals in an unhealthy environment. The combination of loyalty enforcement, social punishment, and financial dependence creates a microcosm of control that is strikingly similar to dynamics found in more traditional high control groups. Okay, catching up to the comments. Yes, Fab Daddy, happy hump day. I need to find my there it is. Find my thing. Tired, got the fur done, still limping, but not in pain like yesterday. Hey, Brian. We are playing bingo about high control groups on YouTube, Brian. It's kind of a hot take, but you've always seen Scientology as kind of a cult? Really, Adam? Do tell. Tell me more. Why do you see that? crack me up, Adam. So that's the first pull, you guys. The Paul Brothers Entourage. Thank you, Cricket, for dropping the bingo card. The next call. Venus Angelic. Does anybody know anything about Venus Angelic? Venus Angelic is the next call. Let's see what Venus Angelic is. Oh, interesting. So Venus Angelic's name is Venus Palermo, and she was one of the most well-known YouTubers in the living doll niche. But behind the scenes, there were significant allegations of coercion, manipulation, and control by her mother, Margaret. So Venus Angelic is the next one. Venus Angelic says there was authoritarian leadership, parental control. Her mother managed Venus's career, controlled her social media, dictated her personal relationships, kept her away from outside influence, including friends and romantic partners. Her mother was the primary person in her life, making it difficult for Venus to gain external perspective or support. Her mother was accused of using Venus's fame for personal financial gain. Venus said she had no access to her own earnings and had to start over financially when she left her mother. Hey, Precious Roy, what's your name? Can anybody play? Yes, anybody can play. Hey, Carrie. Hold on just one second, guys. The dog was making noise. So more about Venus Angelic. My goodness. Exploitation and financial control, emotional manipulation and guilt tripping, public meltdowns and social media rants by Margaret painted Venus as an ungrateful daughter whenever Venus tried to assert independence. Guilt and obligation were used as tools to keep Venus compliant. When Venus finally left, Margaret made public accusations against her, claiming she was mentally unstable and a liar. Margaret continued to post videos and messages attempting to damage Venus's reputation and control the narrative. When Venus tried to break free, she was painted as betraying her mother rather than simply seeking independence. So Venus's situation mirrors many elements of a high control group, although it was primarily a toxic controlling parent-child relationship rather than an organized cult. But the extreme control, financial exploitation, guilt tripping, and public smear campaigns are all classic tactics seen in coercive environments. So it's important to remember that we can have coercive control. Oh, we can have fireworks. It's not the 4th of July, but we can have fireworks. You can have coercive control and authoritarian relationships, even in families. You can have high control groups in families. That is how people who prefer, I mean, that is one of the ways that you get people who prefer high control groups is they're raised in a high control family. That is the culture. It is a culture thing. So that is the next call is Venus Palermo. Here's the next one. Davi Vanity. Anybody got anything on their card yet? Anybody know anything about Davi Vanity? See what we have to say about Davi Vanity. So Davi Vanity, whose real name was Jesus David Torres, is another good example of high control group dynamics, particularly in the context of his band Blood on the Dance Floor and the fan base he cultivated. This case is especially disturbing because it involves allegations of grooming, coercion, and abuse, which are common in high control environments that revolve around a single charismatic leader. So, the group dynamics for Davi Vanity. I mean, his operation was similar to a high control group, but with a focus on exploitation and abuse rather than ideology. He could manipulate and control young fans in ways that mirror the tactics used by cult leaders and the way his inner circle functioned by defending him, attacking detractors, and maintaining secrecy shows the same coercive mechanisms at play. So he had charismatic leadership and total control, positioned himself as the central figure in the band with complete control over the band's image, message, and access, creating a cult of personality where he was idolized by fans, many of whom were young and vulnerable. He showered fans, particularly underage girls, with attention, making them feel special and chosen. He discouraged young fans from listening to their own parents or people who tried to warn them about his behavior. He manipulated his victims into believing that only he and his inner circle understood them. And then, the one that we just see over and over again, critics and survivors who spoke out were discredited, mocked, or attacked online. He leveraged his fan base to harass and intimidate anyone who accused him of wrongdoing. So Davi Vanity has not been criminally charged. The FBI has been investigating the claims, but the streaming services have His efforts to continue his music career have been met with significant public backlash, limiting his reach and influence in the music industry. He sounds like just a stand-up guy for this really fun game. Ooh, now we've got somebody named Kaylin Wilcher. So let's see who's Kaylin Wilcher. Anybody know anything about Kaylin Wilcher? Well, she's been known to block critics and dissenting voices aggressively, keeping only supportive people in her orbit. She's tried to rewrite the events of her life, like personal controversies, to maintain a certain image. You guys still here? Everybody got quiet. You just listening to me talk? Over the years, discussions about Kaylin have highlighted how her social life appears tightly controlled by her mother, which has led to speculation about overprotectiveness or enmeshment. Critics of Kaylin often describe her as being in an echo chamber where she only accepts praise and validation while rejecting or lashing out at any negative feedback. And people who question her narrative or past actions are quickly dismissed as haters. So the us versus them mentality and people being kicked to the curb again. There's also loyalty tests and fan base policing. So there have been cases where loyal followers are expected to defend her against any criticism, creating an environment where compliance and unwavering support are required. And then there's emotional manipulation, and some long-term observers have suggested that she leverages sympathy to avoid accountability, whether it's in regard to past controversies or shifting narratives about her life. And if she's challenged, she can play the victim, making it difficult for people in her community to express differing opinions. Really, Adam? I don't know much about Buffy St. Marie. Okay, let's see. Who's next? Ooh. Yeah, the complete devotion expectation. There seems to be a lot of that going on. So next is y'all Shane Dawson. Thank you, Lori. So Shane Dawson, of course, isn't running a traditional cult, but his influence, behavior, and controversies do show some striking similarities to high control group mechanics. You got lost in the Venus Angelic info, brain fog? Are you interneting while you're listening? So Shane Dawson positions himself as a truth teller. He crafted an image of himself as an outsider, a relatable underdog, and a real person who saw through the fakeness of Hollywood and YouTube. We seeing any themes here, guys? His documentary series framed him as a journalist uncovering the truth, reinforcing his status as someone his audience should trust above others. So, charismatic leadership, centralized control. He tightly controlled his content editing style and the people he worked with. Now, that tightly controlling your content editing style and the people you work with, I think that's fine. His collaborations often involved elevating certain people while villainizing others in a way that served his narrative. That's a little different than tightly controlling your content editing style and the people you work with. I hear that, Adam. I hear that. Everybody needs a cult right now. It is cult of personality central in America. So Shane also had isolation and loyalty tests in his friend group. He would cut off disloyal friends. There'd be over the top emotional manipulation. He often used self deprecating humor and extreme emotional reactions to deflect criticism. And if he was accused of problematic behavior, he would break down on camera, reinforcing a narrative where he was the misunderstood victim. Us versus them mentality in his audience. Shane's fans became extremely defensive of him, often attacking people who called out his problematic jokes or behavior. The way he positioned himself as a trauma survivor who spoke the truth made fans emotionally invested in defending him. Shane would often reframe criticism as hate, framing people who called him out as jealous, toxic, or out to cancel him rather than engaging with valid criticism. Some of these just, you start to see patterns. You start to see patterns, right? So, doing all of this discouraged his audience from critical thinking and made it easier for him to maintain control. Hey, Shaquille, how are you? It is good to see you. Well, I think most of the folks who call themselves alpha males are beta males in disguise. I don't believe in the alpha male, beta male thing anyhow, but alpha males calling them alpha males certainly do not look like they're saying alpha males are supposed to look. I'm just my observation based on what people say an alpha male looks like and how these people who say they're alpha males behave when push comes to shove. Because what they say and what they do don't seem to go in line together. Shane also monetized and exploited trust. So, for example, the Shane Dawson Jeffree Star conspiracy palette was a massive financial success built on months of hyped up documentary style manipulation. He framed it as his big break and made fans feel like they were supporting his journey rather than just buying a product. Nick Cotto Avocado would very much like to be a cult leader. Again, please, which, Lupita? Tell me again, please, which, and I will be happy to do it. Shane also heavily leaned into the YouTube drama ecosystem, knowing that each controversy would bring more engagement and views, exploiting the drama cycle for views. That's what they're saying about Ryan Reynolds, alpha beta males? Yeah. No, it doesn't make sense at all, Sophia. It doesn't make sense at all. So Shane was not running a high control group in the way we think of cults or religious sects, but he did create a high control digital environment where his fans were conditioned to defend him blindly. His inner circle faced loyalty pressures. Critics were demonized, and he used emotional manipulation to maintain control. This last one is Shane Dawson, Lupita. Shane Dawson is who we're talking about. There you go. Shane Dawson. Critics were demon. I mean, I can. Conditioned to defend him blindly. Inner circle faced loyalty pressures. Critics were demonized, and emotional manipulation to use control. This. You're welcome. Okay, who's next? That was Shane Dawson. Ooh. What do you guys know about Colleen Ballinger? Colleen Ballinger. Miranda sings. So it looks like this. So let's talk about the ways in which Colleen Ballinger displayed high control behaviors. Hey, Bill, how are you? Grab a chair, grab a drink, and grab a bingo card. I will go through for you when you tell me you have your bingo card, Bill. The scientist who originated the whole alpha beta hierarchy theory wound up renouncing it. I think I remember hearing that, Adam. It's a whole bunch of caca. Whole bunch of caca. So Colleen Ballinger also had charismatic leadership and fan manipulation. Sorry, you're that cold just wants to hold on. Okay, lurk during dinner. So Colleen built a massive fan base through her quirky, misunderstood character, making young followers deeply emotionally attached to her. And she shared intimate details about her struggles, divorce, pregnancy, scandals, keeping fans personally invested in her well-being. She had a very controlled inner circle who had to show unwavering loyalty or be pushed out. Yes, she did have a ukulele. I think she made a ukulele song. Hey, Paolo. And friends or fans who disagreed with her were sometimes mocked in her content or quietly removed from her world. I mean, it's the same thing, the same. Chris Chan has some serious out ethics, but she is on to something with the dimensional merge. There you go, MILF. BILF. I don't know why I said MILF. BILF. Please pardon me. She dismissed critics as haters or toxic cancel culture and weaponized her audience. She had inappropriate fan interactions and manipulative apologies. Ukulele song debacle. Onward, Christian soldiers. Yeah. She heavily relied on young, impressionable fans for financial success through merch, live shows, and brand deals. Fans felt like they knew her personally, making them more likely to excuse her actions. So, she manipulated fan loyalty. She emotionally trapped people in her orbit. She deflected responsibility. And she encouraged an us versus them mindset. So that is Colleen Ballinger. And next we have Gabby Hanna. How are people coming on their bingo? Anybody close? Well, Bill, that's why we're talking about them as they come up. They all seem to have the same characteristics. I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference between them. But what's wrong with your card? If that card's not working, hit the link again and get a different card. I don't want you to have a faulty card. The 2010s vegan community was awash in cults and countercults. Brian, I have a friend who calls that guano psychotic. It's one of my favorite words. Guano psychotic. It is an exceptional epithet. Dusty. Well, Lupita, just give it time. I only had like 30, so you should be able to get some. I don't think your card's faulty because we've only gone through 7. I'll go a little quicker. Gabby Hanna. Gabby Hanna is problematic. Colonel Backguano, there you go. Gabby positioned herself as a misunderstood genius. She framed herself as a brilliant but unappreciated artist who was ahead of her time. She reinforced the "they just don't get me" mindset. She overshared trauma, mental health struggles, and personal battles in ways that blurred the line between authenticity and manipulation. She also framed all criticism as bullying and engaged in dramatic public feuds as a control tactic. She encouraged dogpiling on critics. She had used extreme mood swings as a manipulation tool, weaponized mental health. And she claimed the music industry and YouTube were against her, urging fans to support her projects out of loyalty, and frequently referenced being blacklisted or suppressed, increasing fan urgency to defend her. And she turned every scandal into content. She'd provoke drama, then frame herself as the victim, ensuring views and engagements skyrocketed. Dusty Brain Fog says hi and says she's eating dinner. So that's Gabby Hanna. Let's see if we can make this go a little faster. Micah and James Stauffer. Micah and James Stauffer had a family-focused YouTube channel. Oh, they're the couple who announced that they had rehomed their adopted son with autism. This decision, coupled with their monetization of his adoption journey, raised concerns about the ethical implications of family vlogging and the potential for exploitative dynamics. They publicized personal family matters. There was monetization and financial exploitation. The content featuring their adopted son attracted significant viewership, leading to increased ad revenue and brand partnerships. There was a lack of accountability and transparency. They don't fit the traditional definition of a high control group. Their actions highlight concerns about the potential for exploitation and ethical boundaries in the realm of family vlogging. The prioritization of content creation and monetization over a child's privacy and well-being underscore the need for greater scrutiny and ethical standards within the genre. And another family blogger, the Ace family, are next on the list. Hello. I cannot read your name. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh, there it is. Peaceful Drama. Yes, Trisha. So the ones we've called so far, let me go down the list for y'all. The ones we've called so far are the Paul Brothers Entourage, Venus Angelic, Davi Vanity, Kaylin Wilcher, Shane Dawson, Colleen Ballinger, Gabby Hanna, and Micah and James Stauffer, and the Ace family. So that's who we've called so far. Their name is the Ace family. Let me write it down. That is the most recent one. The Ace family. And they are Austin and Catherine McBroom. So they had charismatic leadership and persona-based influence. They presented an idealized version of family life, which can deeply resonate with viewers seeking aspirational content. The target audience for that is other young moms, Bilf. The Ace family had an us versus them mentality and audience manipulation. They've faced multiple accusations, including accusations against Austin McBroom related to sexual assault and infidelity, which he has denied. Their responses to such controversies often invoke framing critics as haters or attributing negative attention to cancel culture, potentially fostering an environment where dissenting opinions are dismissed. There was financial exploitation and transparency issues. They've been involved in various business endeavors that have faced criticism. There have been boundary violations and manipulative content. Again, they're not a traditional high control group. But they control their public image, they dismiss criticism, they engage in manipulative content. These things align with high control dynamics. Their ability to cultivate a devoted fan base, coupled with controversies, suggests exploitation and boundary issues, offering insight into how digital influencers can exhibit high control behaviors with their platforms. Top Chat is a cult leader. It always tries to restrict my view of the world and controls my access to people. Adam, I feel you. It is the worst thing ever to be almost all the way through a chat and realize you've been on Top Chat instead of live chat. I know, Dusty. I know you thought you pissed off Brain Fog. You didn't piss her off. That is Fenty. That is Fenty. There you go. It's a limited edition color that I got at Christmas last year. So, Fenty Gloss Bomb is the lip gloss. Brain Fog, that's what I had in my purse. Okay, who's next? Jake Paul. Since we've already done the Paul brothers entourage, I'm just going to call Jake Paul, and we will assume the same things apply to Jake Paul as apply to the Paul brothers entourage. Next is Mike, an actor. I will spell that out for you guys. Hold on a second. I'd love to be one of those YouTube channels that do makeup. I just don't know how I would ever purchase enough makeup or use enough makeup to be one of those channels that does makeup, because they have all the makeup. But if you want to know what I put on my eyes today, as an aside, I've got this beautiful Odin's Eye palette that Angelica Nyqvist did that I just, come on. We got to turn the background off. It's not going to work unless I turn the background off. Hold on. It's just not going to work until I turn, there we go. There you go. There's the colors for the eyeshadow today. And we'll turn the background back on. Much better. So let's find out who the hell Mike, an actor, is. Anybody know? Mike, an actor. Mike, an actor. Is also known as Mike South. You want to do a get ready with me? Okay, now I find out Mike, an actor. You finally got one? Yay, Lupita. Mike, an actor, also frames opponents of bad actors. Many of his most watched videos focus on public callouts, exposing drama, or dissecting controversial figures. He has an echo chamber effect. His audience often engages through shared frustration, outrage, or emotional reactions to topics he covered. And that tends to strengthen parasocial bonds, making fans feel personally invested in his opinions. And he monetizes the emotional connection. Mike, an actor, likes to manage the criticism and control the narrative. Elements of his content structure, audience interactions, and response to criticisms share some control-adjacent characteristics seen in influencer-driven communities that discourage dissent. So that's Mike, an actor. We could do a get ready with me on occasion, brain fog. That might be fun. So next is Riley J. Dennis. Boy, I don't know a lot of these folks, guys. Is it like somewhat disheartening that there's so many that we just don't even know about that are doing high control tactics on she does Riley does tend to present opposing viewpoints as inherently transphobic or oppressive, making it difficult for nuanced discussion to take place. She tends to frame dissenters as morally flawed, discouraging even good faith disagreements. Um, She's been known to avoid responding to complex critiques by labeling them as part of an oppressive system rather than breaking them down. She has a history of blocking critics and dissenters, which can reinforce an insular echo chamber where only approving voices remain. So, next after Riley Dennis is there's Riley Dennis. And next is the LeBrant family. How's everybody coming? First Minnesota goodbye, y'all. First Minnesota goodbye. So the LeBrant family doesn't operate as a traditional high control group. Again, aspects of their content and audience exhibit high control dynamics. They curate their family image meticulously, creating unrealistic expectations for viewers. They present their perspective on sensitive topics without room for opposing views, influencing their audience beliefs without encouraging critical thinking. And they utilize emotionally charged content, including misleading video titles, which can manipulate viewer emotions to increase engagement. So that's the LeBrant family. I think some of these are higher and lower on the higher, lower on the high control group scale. Hold on just a second. I'm not sure if this palette is available anymore, Brain Fog. Let me see if I can find it for you. I don't think it's available anymore. I am looking. Oh, I found it. Brain Fog wanted to know what the palette was. There you go, brain fog. High control in marketing. Indeed, marketing. Where's the crossover, Cricket, between marketing and propaganda? Where does that line fall between marketing and propaganda? Okay, the LeBrant family. Somebody else I don't know. Joyce Sparkle. Joyce Sparkle is a polarizing figure in the online commentary community, with her content sparking both support and criticism. Her approach to discussing controversies continues to elicit diverse reactions from viewers and fellow content creators alike. Joyce Sparkles. She frames critics as villains. She's created an us versus them dynamic. She has encouraged her fan base to attack dissenters. She has referenced personal struggles in a way that makes it difficult to critique her without seeming cruel. She shifts blame onto others. She's known for blocking and silencing dissenting voices. That's Joyce Sparkle, y'all. Lupita isn't it always intent? It's like, what's the line between art and obscene? It's always complicated. It's always complicated. Lance Stewart is the next one, you guys. We had Joyce Sparkles. And now we have Joyce Sparkle. And now we have Lance Stewart. I feel like I'm doing a lot of the talking. Lance Stewart. Also a YouTuber. These are all YouTubers. Audience manipulation again, clickbait, misleading content. Many of his most watched videos use sensationalized titles and thumbnails, exaggerating reality or implying extreme situations, keeping viewers emotionally engaged and addicted to his content, reinforcing a sense of trust in his storytelling, even when it's deceptive. He's staged pranks or been accused of staging pranks and manufacturing events, which is common in high control environments where followers are conditioned to accept the leader's version of reality without questioning. He milks personal tragedy for views. No, Laurie, that's fine. You can clean the floor. His fans feel deeply connected to his personal life. reinforcing a parasocial dynamic where they care about his well-being. He blocks and ignores critics. We've got a theme here, guys. It's like we've got a build-a-box for YouTube high control creators. Okay. Ooh. What about Eugenia Cooney, guys? That's a difficult one. Any of you guys know about Eugenia Cooney? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Eugenia Cooney and Belle Delphine. Bingo yet, y'all? Let me go through the calls, y'all. Here we go. Number one, the Paul brothers. Here, let me see if I can just. What happens if I do this? Probably. Yeah. There we go. She is a skinny media person. That is exactly true, Lori. Eugenia Cooney. Her content has been associated with pro-anorexia communities, where her images and videos are used as thinspiration. And the unintended influence can perpetuate harmful behaviors among susceptible individuals. It appears that her platforms moderate or remove comments addressing her health, creating an environment where critical conversations are suppressed. Yeah, Eugenia is a weird one. Her situation underscores the challenges of addressing health concerns. While she does not intentionally promote harmful behaviors, the dynamics within her online community and the influence of her content on vulnerable individuals highlight the need for responsible content creation and consumption. No, she does not look healthy at all. No, she does not. And Belle Delphine has garnered significant attention by posting misleading titles on adult platforms, such as Belle Delphine strokes too big C asterisk CKS, where she appeared with 2 chickens. Lots of viral stunts. Her content often polarizes evident audiences, and there is a cultivation of enemies. She fosters intense discussions, increasing engagement and solidifying her fan base. Her supporters and detractors often engage in heated debates, creating echo chambers that reinforce existing beliefs and discourage critical discourse. We're hearing this over and over again. Discouraging critical discourse, echo chamber, us versus them mentality. All of these things over and over again. The Thinspo thing is definitely poison, Cricket. It is pretty scary. Ooh, the next one. This is an interesting thing. The next one is Nikita Dragon. And we're going to have the same thing again, I expect. Dragon has been known to deflect criticism by shifting blame or denying allegations. She is engaged in public feuds with other influencers, which can polarize audiences and create an us versus them mentality. And she often portrays herself as a trailblazer. It's empowering, but it also can serve to deflect valid criticism by framing them as attacks against her identity rather than against her actions. Nikita Dragon's career illustrates the complexities of influencer culture, where personal branding and public perception are continually negotiated. While she does not lead a high control group, certain behaviors, such as narrative control, selective engagement, and emotional manipulation, mirror tactics observed in high control dynamics. So that's Nikita Dragon. Same. One of these things looks just like the other. Ooh, how about this one, y'all? Y'all know this one. I'm not even going to need to explain this one. Josh Duggar. Not traditionally an online influencer. Nonetheless, definitely a member of a high control group. He's currently incarcerated. And he's had reality television fame. His family upbringing and the ideology he promoted exhibit strong high control dynamics. That's the son. Josh is the son. Jim Bob is the dad. Jim Bob is the dad. So, authoritarian leadership, religious indoctrination, cover ups, suppression of dissent, isolation, control of women, controlling public perception, narrative control, public manipulation, financial and social control, seclusion from secular society. He's in prison. He's currently in prison. And it appears that his wife, Anna, has stayed with him and is asserting his innocence and upholding her marital vows. So that is Josh Duggar. Next call, Tana Mojo. Tana Mojo, right? Tana. See how Tana is related to high control. Again, Tana frames criticism as unfair persecution. She encourages ride or die fan loyalty. We're in this together dynamic. She overshares personal trauma, using personal hardships and abusive relationships as a way to explain problematic behavior. She uses public feuds with folks like Bella Thorne, Jake Paul, and Gabby Hanna, framing herself as the real, unfiltered underdog against toxic or fake people. Again, selective engagement and avoidance of accountability, financial exploitation and monetization of fan loyalty, glamorizing excess and party culture, selling low-quality products and scamming fans. So that's Tana Mojo. Tana. Teal Swan. Who's got Teal Swan on their card? I forgot to write Tana's name down for you guys. And Teal Swan. Teal Swan. Do y'all all know about Teal Swan? Who doesn't know about Teal Swan? Anybody? Teal Swan. Teal Swan has positioned herself as the ultimate spiritual authority, claiming to have no mentors or teachers above her. Her teachings encourage followers to distance themselves from those outside the community, leading to social isolation. Swan's methods reportedly involve delving into followers' traumatic experiences, which, if not handled professionally, could heighten emotional dependence on her guidance. Teal Swan is a piece of work. In response to the allegations of cult-like behavior, Teal Swan is denied operating a cult, asserting that her teachings are intended to promote healing and self-improvement. She has also criticized media portrayals, claiming they misrepresent her intentions and methods. There are lots of documentaries about Teal Swan. Teal Swan is definitely Definitely a piece of work. Definitely a piece of work. So the next one, we've already done the Paul brothers, but we've got another of the Paul brothers now. Logan Paul. We're not going to talk about him again. Second Minnesota goodbye, y'all. We are flying through it here today. Second Minnesota goodbye. And no winners yet. I better make it go faster. Next is Trisha Paytas. Trisha does all the things we've talked about already. She doesn't listen to she doesn't listen to criticism. She creates an us versus them us versus them mentality, vulnerability and oversharing, all the things. Atwood has left the internet because of threats against him. It says Roman Atwood is not running a high control group, but the parasocial relationships with fans, community dynamics, and branding strategies exhibit several traits commonly seen in influencer-driven high control environments. Deep emotional fan investment, criticism is discouraged by an aggressively loyal audience, narrative control through selective transparency, and monetization strategies that reinforce emotional and financial loyalty. Eric, sweetie, how are you? Good to see you, Eric. We are playing bingo. Okay, we are going to go through the rest of these until we get a bingo. The next one is Paul and Morgan. Anybody have Paul and Morgan? Ooh, and here we are with Chris Chan. Chris Chan is on the list. Excuse me for a moment, y'all. Let me... Hey, Orion. Orion. Bingo, Lupita! I thought you said your card was defective, Lupita. Eric, I'm glad you're all right. Excuse me for a moment, you guys. I'll get a puppy. I'll be right back. Yeah, come here. Stop. Here we go. Stop. Lupita is the winner. Wrong one? What do you mean wrong one? What's your card number, Lupita? We can check it. What's your card number? Martini and Rossi? Asti Spumante. What was exciting? Stop with my face. Thank you. Be on Tori's Live for your part 2 interview with high functioning autism at 8 p.m. California time. Excellent, Eric. Is that going to be on Tori's channel? We will all come over and see you, Eric. You guys, right as we finish tonight, Eric is going to be on Tori's channel. You don't need to lick my face. Talking about autism. 21. Stop. Card number 21. Okay, come on. Oh, you're so close, Lupita. You need one more. Okay, Orion wants down. No more barking. That worked well. He's going to run off and bark. He is, you guys. He's going to run off and bark. Hi, Anne Marie. Welcome in. Okay, the next one after Chris Chan is Amberlynn Reed. See? I should have dealt with problems while I had him here. I knew if I let him go, he was just going to go off in the corner and bark again. I should have known. I did know. Be right back. Now he won't run off and bark anymore. Amberlynn Reed is next. And after Amberlynn Reed is Pro Jared. So Amberlynn Reed. And then Pro Jared are the next two. You're going to have to get a bingo here pretty quick. It's almost third Minnesota goodbye time. Sam Pepper is next. Real bingo. Yep, you got a real bingo. Lupita wins. Lupita, I don't have anything for you to win today. You just win. Orion needs to sleep next to a mannequin face covered in makeup. Cricket, did you get bingo too? Both of you at the same time? Card number 11. Yep, you got it too. Cricket and Lupita with the bingo. I don't have any prizes today, y'all. So you're just going to have to get bragging rights. Orion should sleep next to a mannequin face covered in makeup. But I don't think it needs to be covered in makeup in order for him to love it. So let's finish up this bingo game, see who else we can get. We'll see if we can get a blackout. Sam Pepper was next. And after Sam Pepper is James Charles. So one of the things I find interesting is I think you are a winner, Lupita. I mean, you were a winner before you won. You were a winner before you won. So we got 2 winners. Let's leave the bingo game. Oh, Lupita, Cricket sent a prize for you. Oh my goodness. Check it out, Lupita. Let me find you. You are a winner. Look what you won. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Lupita. Lupita, what do you think? Isn't it adorable? Lupita, you know the drill. Email Cricket or I, and we will send this off to you. It is so cute. I love it, Cricket. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. It's so cute, isn't it, Lupita? Shoot me an email, dear, or one to Cricket, and we will get it off to you. So, guys, I'm kind of disappointed. I was hoping to take next week off of work because it's spring break. But seeing as how I was sick last week, I can't really afford to take another week off work right after I took a whole week off work because I was sick. So that totally puts the kibosh on my plans for next week. I'm going to have to work, which is disappointing. But I am all done with my classes for this quarter. I had my second interview with this job that with this job opportunity that I have. It was a good second interview. And I've got a first interview with another company next week. Both of them part-time jobs. So they won't impact my ability to go to school significantly. AI loves Orion. You're going to have to tell me some of the prompts you use, Cricket, for Orion. I would expect a long-haired Black and brown dachshund is pretty easy, though. Long-haired dachshund. Pretty easy to work with. Where are you? You're right there. You blew off work and did nothing. All the stuff I told myself I'd do. Why do I listen to me? Exactly, Lori. I took some days off the week before last, too, for school. So I have missed 2 weeks of work in the last 6 weeks. It's a little much. So I think taking yet more time off for spring break is just not at all feasible. Not at all feasible. I am excited yet nervous about the possibility for this job. Change is not my favorite. And I've had to undergo a lot of change recently. So, okay, guys, we are officially third Minnesota goodbye. I cannot get this straight. It's my own deal, and I can't get it straight. Third Minnesota goodbye. Third Minnesota goodbye. It is third Minnesota goodbye. How has y'all's week been so far? It is hump day. Tomorrow, Brain Fog and I will be live to talk about all the politics of the week. We'll be live on Old Tifa. You are disqualified. Especially since you have this timer watching and wait to show up for you win, Papa Cat, if we don't get anybody else for third Minnesota goodbye. How's that? If we don't get anybody else for third Minnesota goodbye, it goes to Papa Cat. It is a beautiful third Minnesota goodbye prize. We haven't seen Kristen yet. We haven't seen No Face. Antics was here for a short time. Dusty's been in. We haven't seen MLH or Big Chief. There's a lot of people we haven't seen. Sophia, I don't know if Sophia is still here. Lots and lots of folks. Look at that, Papa Cat. Such an offer. Such an offer. So my spring break is going to just run starting tomorrow. I can't believe it, guys. This isn't even spring break. I got done a full week early. Yes. Scooter must be watching basketball. That could be. Who else can we Beetlejuice? I think most everybody who's watching has been in the chat today. Who else do we have watching who's not? We have 9 people watching. Who we got 4 people. 4 people watching who aren't weighing in with a beautiful third. I can count, y'all. With a beautiful third Minnesota Goodbye Award waiting to be awarded. Actually, Papa Cat, I take it back. I like this third Minnesota Goodbye Award so much that if we don't find a taker for it, I'm gonna take it. We see you, Lori. I know you're there. I know you're there. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with all this time that I've got on my hands. Don't have anything planned. I think I need to try and organize my craft space. That might be a reasonable goal. Is to organize my craft space. Yes, thumbs up right over the Statue of Liberty. Why can't I ever get a thumbs up? There it is. When I want one. So our watch numbers have gone up, but we're still waiting for somebody to show themselves. Third Minnesota Goodbye and everything else. You could talk a bench of smack for a troll magnet. We could just Beetlejuice some trolls, Cricket. No, we're going to avoid the smack talking. We're going to avoid the smack talking. I do all my smack talking subversively. Undercover and subversively. That is the best way to do smack talking. So this wasn't as fun a bingo game, was it, guys? I wonder why that is. Any thoughts? Was there too much talking? It didn't seem like it was as much fun as the bingo games have been in the past. Or is it just because there wasn't any fudge on the table for awards? I need to pay you guys off with fudge in order to have fun with the game. I need to hold off on making any more fudge until after I have my annual physical coming up at the end of the month. I'm going to make sure my A1C numbers aren't spiking over homemade fudge. You liked it because you didn't know those people? Okay, Cricket, that's good to know. I tried to pull in something new and different. The one I had in mind that made me think of this as an angle was Onision. If you guys don't know about Onision, I highly recommend you look him up. He is Terrifying. Like I'm a teacher or something? Where'd you get that idea, Cricket? What gave you that idea that I'm into the teaching thing? So I was talking about the schedule coming up. Tomorrow night, Brain Fog and I'll be live on Old Tifa. And if you're not subscribed to Old Tifa yet, please head over there and give us a like and subscribe. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, another high control situation. She went from a high control situation, being in a high control situation, to existing in another high control situation. Yes, Cricket, I think Gypsy Rose Blanchard is an excellent example. High control family relationship. Yeah. I mean, if you're raised in a high control family relationship, then you're going to be motivated to adapt into high control groups. And the thing I think it's important to remember is all of these people are motivated to be in high control groups. And there are productive and non-productive high control groups. And the important thing isn't that you're not in a high control group. The important thing is that you're not in a destructive high control group. People being vilified when they leave is a sure sign of a destructive high control group. So that is something to look out for. If you're in a group and the people who leave the group are vilified, then you need to really look around, examine your situation, and consider what's going on, why there's a need to vilify people who have left, why there's a need to have an us versus them kind of vilifying going on. I mean, it's certainly possible to have an us versus them mentality. Lots of groups do that. That doesn't mean you need to be vilifying the other group. It's only when you get into vilifying the other group that it becomes a problem. Vilification, in my book, never good. Vilification in almost all cases, because there's always an exception to every rule. But I would say, in general, vilification bad. So, what else, you guys? Oh, Old Tifa. Subscribe to Old Tifa. We'll be on tomorrow night. I may be on Saturday morning. Just for shits and giggles, y'all. Since school is out, maybe I'll do Saturday morning. Would y'all like to see me Saturday morning as a special Saturday morning event for spring break? What do you think? I will make it a plan if it's something you guys miss. We can do a bacon and baking hour. We can bake some bacon. And then Sunday night, I think we're not doing book club anymore. I'm not sure what we're doing instead. But unless I get pushback saying you guys really miss book club, I think we're putting book club on an indefinite hiatus. That's fine, Lori. You need to get your sleep, sweetie. Saturday special? Okay. We'll do a Saturday special, Cricket. And Sunday, we will do something Sunday night. I'm not sure what we'll be doing Sunday nights yet, but like I said, I think book club is on permanent hiatus unless I get pushback from y'all saying you desperately miss it. I think I need to do something different on Sundays. So with that, guys, I think that we don't have a third Minnesota goodbye. Have we had anybody come in for third Minnesota goodbye, y'all? This almost never happens. Ever, never. Never good numbers when I miss a week. That is probably the problem. People get accustomed to a schedule, and if I break it, then it causes problems. That's okay. I enjoy those of you who were able to make it. It is disappointing that we're not getting anybody for our third Minnesota goodbye. Yes, I can count. Why am I having so much trouble with third or fourth Minnesota goodbye? I'm just having a terrible time with that tonight. I'm not even high. Not anywhere close. Although that is what I will be doing as soon as I am done with y'all, is I am done working for the weekend. What's the Friday night song? You know what? I like it better when we have the music in the background. Now that I think about it. It does sound better. It's nice to have the background noise. When I get quiet, it's not quite so annoying. Okay, guys. We are at 2 hours. And so I am going to say, hey, Papa Cat, are you still here? I just want to show this beautiful art. And really, it should go to Papa Cat. Look at this beautiful piece of art Cricket did. So lovely. Show all you guys the 3rd Minnesota Goodbye Award. Zebra butt. It's almost as good as cat butt. Yes, we should room raid Tori, Cricket. Although Tori does not like it when people announce room raids in her chat. So we can room raid her, but do not go in there announcing a room raid. Isn't it nice? We'll send it off to you, Papa Cat. It's really nice. It's really nice. Do you have Tori's link? Cricket? So just make sure, y'all. Yep. Tori Quiet Creepin'. Exactly. Go check out Tori. Give Eric my love. And I will see you guys all tomorrow night and Saturday morning. Thanks, y'all.